self-realization, he envies such persons as much as demons envy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. The real reason for the enmity between Lord Shiva and Daksha is explained here. Daksha was envious of Lord Shiva because of Shiva's high position as an incarnation of a quality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and because Shiva was directly in contact with the Supersoul and was therefore honored and given a better seating place than he. There were many other reasons also. Daksha, being materially puffed up, could not tolerate the high position of Lord Shiva. So, his anger at Lord Shiva's not standing up in his presence was only the final manifestation of his envy. Lord Shiva is always in meditation and always perceives the Supersoul, as expressed here by the words Purusha Buddhi Sakshinam. The position of one whose intelligence is always absorbed in meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very great and cannot be imitated by anyone, especially an ordinary person. When Daksha entered the arena of Yajna, Lord Shiva was in meditation and might not have seen Daksha enter, but Daksha took the opportunity to curse him because Daksha had maintained an envious attitude towards Lord Shiva for a long time. Those who are actually self realized see every individual body as a temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead in its Paramatma feature is residing in everyone's body. When one offers respects to the body, it is not to the material body, but to the presence of the Supreme Lord. Thus, one who is always in meditation upon the Supreme Lord is always offering him obeisances. But since Daksha was not very elevated, he thought that obeisances were offered to the material body. And because Lord Shiva did not offer respect to his material body, Daksha became envious. Such persons, being unable to rise to the standard of self realized souls like Lord Shiva, are always envious. The example given here is very suitable. Asuras, demons, or atheists are always envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They simply want to kill him. Even in this age, we find some so-called scholars commenting on Bhagavad Gita who are envious of Krishna. When Krishna says, Man mana bhava mad bhakta, Bhagavad Gita 18.65, always think of me, become my devotee, and surrender unto me. The so-called scholars comment that it is not Krishna that we have to surrender. That is envy. The asuras or atheists, the demons, without reason or cause, are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, instead of offering respect to self-realized persons, foolish men who cannot approach the standard of self-realization are always envious, although there is no reason. Hare Krishna. We will chant, dear devotees, we'll chant the Mangala Charan prayer. If you know it, please join alongside with me. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishnabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Manchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, what this topic is about, Lord Shiva's forbearance, and also we can understand the poison of envy. And it gives us some insights into what is spiritual vision and, from Prabhupada's purpose. So, what you all, over the past several weeks, we have been we have been um, hearing this pastime. So we know that Mother Sati is the daughter of Daksha Prajapati, and there was the yajna, and Lord Shiva didn't stand up when the Daksha Prajapati entered. Daksha Prajapati is the father-in-law, and he's also a very exalted position. And whenever anyone enters in a room who's at a senior position, it is always a good practice for the person who's at a junior position should always stand, offer obeisances. In fact, several years ago, Madhupati Prabhu was also giving this example that if you have the seva of sharing Krishna consciousness and you're sitting on the Vyasasana, and if you're sitting in over there and you're giving class, and if a senior Vaishnav walks in, your guru or your guru's god brother or whatever, some senior Vaishnav walks in, you should get up from the Vyasasana and offer your respects and request him or her to give class rather than you. Uh, that is the etiquette. So whenever a person who comes in senior than you are supposed to offer your respect. Actually, you offer respect to everyone, but again, that's a separate lesson on Vaishnav etiquette, Trinadapi Sunichena. But in this particular instance, Lord Shiva fully absorbed in meditating on the Supreme Personality, and he didn't even notice whatever that he's entering. But Taksha got very annoyed that, and he started blaspheming, and from there on it continues. And the whole thing, the yajna, which is supposed to be a very sacred event, um, got really spoiled because then, Lord Shiva's followers, they also got into an argument. And then on this side, there was one who were cursing. So it went back and forth, back and forth. Anyway, so Lord Shiva returns to his abode, and then Yajna is having another, Daksha is having another Yajna, and this time he doesn't invite Lord Shiva. Uh, Mother Sati wants to go because of family uh, affection and whatever it is. And she's giving a lot of explanations, and Lord Shiva is not party to it. He is a self-realized soul. He knows past, present, future. He knows what will happen. So he's gently, very gently, he's, cautioning her, no, my dear, no need to go. But still, she is insisting. So there is a lesson here in when a well-wisher of ours says something, but we are so hell-bent on doing something else. It just falls on deaf ears, as they say. So the intelligent person will listen. If a parent tells a child that do not, play with matchsticks, you'll burn yourself. But the child is so fascinated by lighting a matchstick, doesn't pay heed. But A clever child will listen. Okay, mama, I will listen. That's how it is. Last Sunday we were doing a practical example with Sunday school kids. They are 10, 12 years old. And once the child gets into middle school, all the trouble starts, smoking, drugs, and whatever else nonsense goes on in the middle school. And then high school, it has gone case. So we were teaching them, but you give instructions, you keep giving instructions, you have to keep repeating it. It comes in over here. So we had a fun way of doing instructions. So we took them all into the courtyard. The weather is very nice. We went in the courtyard and we asked them to link hands with each other and then lock the hand like this. So each one formed a chain by linking their arms together. And then the instruction was the person who's on this side, he has to move forward. The person next to him has to move backwards. Then besides him goes left, besides him goes right. And like this gave different directions. Some have to sit, some have to jump. And then on the count of one, two, three, go, each one was supposed to do that. And whoever's hand came out, whose lock was broken, is out of the game. So all these kids with a lot of enthusiasm, they were doing and pushing and jostling and trying to hold, and some kids' hands came off and this. So the lesson that was imparted to them is that even when you have temptations are like this, we have a certain willpower, we have a certain determination. It is like this locked hand, and we are going in a certain direction. But there are so many opposing forces from outside, opposing forces from inside metal, which is trying to break this determination. And that is what life is. So right now, in a physical strength, you can hold this, how strong you are. Physically, you can hold, keep it locked. But how strong our mental willpower is will help us in terms of whatever temptations come in life. So, like this, Lord Shiva, how it's connected to the story, is telling Mother Sati. So, these instructions which come, and when we obey the instructions of Vaishnav, it strengthens our willpower. Hare Krishna. So, some may say that, oh, Lord Shiva, because he was insulted, now he doesn't want his wife to go. Because family, right? There has to be some kind of a so-called loyalty. Someone insults my wife, how can I be friendly with that person? How can I associate with that person? Because by insulting her, by association, he has insulted me. So when Lord Shiva was cautioning Mother Sati not to go, is not because of any ego or a self of pride. In fact, he was not being, sometimes people are very possessive. He wasn't being possessive, but he was being protective. He knows what the outcome would be. He was being protective, so very nicely he asked her, do not, correct? So another thing is that for a devotee, he doesn't care whether he is insulted or whether he is honored. It's the same thing. He doesn't care, right? However, he becomes alert when the dharma or dignity of bhakti is at stake. What does this mean? Several years ago, my first trip to Mayapur in 92 or 93, uh, and I was a brand new devotee to Hare Krishna. And I was seeing all, that time Mayapur temple wasn't so crowded. And all the sannyasis morning program doing japa would be in the temple hall going around, uh, you know, then all disciples and everyone I would see was, falling flat at their feet, offering dandvat. And every two, three steps they have to stop and, accept the respects and go. So there was one Swami, I forget his name, one Swami, uh, and I asked him, I said, I have a question. Can I ask you? He said, yeah. So I said, everyone offers you obeisances, tens and hundreds of people just falling at your feet. How come, it doesn't affect your ego? He started laughing. He says, that's because they're not offering to me. They're offering to God. And whatever they are offering me, I'm simply a medium. I pass it onwards. And here, this is the same lesson that we can learn. Sometimes people, now this is the other side, people may offer us respect. People may offer us obeisance. People may say nice words about us, and then we feel, ah, so nice. But no, that's not the way it is. Why? Why do we offer it to the Guru? Why do we offer it upwards? Because it is not our capability for whatever we have done, whether we speak or whether we do kirtan nicely or we do book distribution. It is not our capability and capacity. We think it is we are the doers, but we are not the doers. Hare Krishna. So, uh, what another thing we can understand here is the nature of envy. Hare Krishna. What Prabhupada has explained is Daksha's problem was he thinks that respect was being given to the body, as like that sannyasi had said, it's not to me, it is to, God, where this respect is being given. Uh, so we are passing it upwards. But however, Daksha, like even we get trapped in that sometimes, identification with the body, insult and honor, everything is bodily related. So he felt that, oh, it is, you didn't respect, that means you have demeaned, you lowered my position. So whenever envy comes in, what happens is we cannot tolerate anyone, because when we are in this bodily platform, dear devotees, when we identify with the bodies, not knowing that we are soul, part and parcel of Krishna, when we do not understand that, what happens is we put ourselves up on a pedestal, and that pedestal is made up of ignorance and arrogance. And the more we um, identify with this body, I, me, myself, mine, the stronger, the wider, and higher this pedestal is going up and up. Doesn't matter what your social status is. You could be a beggar. Doesn't matter. You could be a king. Whoever, male, female, child. It keeps becoming bigger and bigger, this pedestal. And then we are, a sense of who we are. That false ego is standing tall on that pedestal. But though it may be very wide and very high, it is very fragile. The wider and higher that pedestal is, more fragile it is. And when anything which is not in line to either strengthen that, build that pedestal even higher, it hurts a lot. Bodily identification, it hurts a lot. So that false ego gets bruised very easily. So it will be always looking for faults in others, ninda, always critical, either verbally through actions or even mentally. It is always there, present, ever present. Guru Maharaj, one lecture I was listening to Radhanath Swami, and he mentions in a social setting, he says people go for weddings and everyone dresses up nicely, and all the Matajis will wear, a lot of jewelry, whatever jewelry is there, everyone there, to, oh, see how well I'm doing in life or whatever it is. And then everyone will praise. So people are going there actually to widen and heighten that pedestal of theirs, because people, oh, you dress so nice, oh, this, that, and all. So all this lip service which is being given, what Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, inside they're burning with envy. They're burning with envy that how can she have that? She doesn't deserve it. Look at her. And then we start finding all these faults. Now, similarly, not even at a wedding event, even in a spiritual gathering, even in a temple, when it comes, all the time, this false ego is noticing everyone's, oh, such a senior Vaishnava. Look how he is. He doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. And then we pull out all Prabhupada said this, Prabhupada said that. All to back whatever is this nonsense going on in our mind, we take the help of scriptures, we take the help of Prabhupada said this, this one said, all the senior, that means I'm justified in the way I feel. That is all nonsense. That is all nonsense. In reality, it is just this pedestal which we are making wider and higher. But there is a danger. because whatever thoughts are there, the nature of thoughts is such it comes on the tongue as words, and then it gets into action. Now, of course, in Kali Yuga, there is no consequence for thoughts, but it is not a free license. You can think any which way you want. Yes, thoughts are free. No one can bind thoughts, but you can at least channel your thoughts in the positive direction, because whatever is the thoughts are the trigger, and then from there everything comes in. And once it gets into words and once it gets into deeds, the consequences are very severe, especially when a sadhaka is trying to build his tree of bhakti. It's just a little sapling. And this ninda, the ninda of especially a Vaishnav or even anybody else. Oh, meat eater, I'm a vegetarian, I'm a meat eater. In fact, it's so, when I go in a business setting and you have to entertain people. So I said, I'm a vegetarian, I'm a pure vegetarian. People take pride. Oh, you're a pure vegetarian. I'm a pure non-vegetarian. As though being a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian is an achievement in life, and with a lot of pride. Oh, I will eat anything. And I remember asking, of course, I had good relations with that person. I remember asking him, so when your child passes away, will you eat that also? Because end of the day, it is a dead body of a living creature that was once alive. Very upset that person got. What do you mean? Anyway, that's a different thing. But we have this false sense of pride. We also get this pride that, oh, I'm a devotee, I'm on the right path. So that's why Radhanath Swami Maharaj says we should not feel great. What we have got is priceless. It's a priceless, matchless gift. Remember, 22nd Avenue. It's priceless. You cannot put a price on it. But that should not make us feel like, oh, I'm so fortunate. No, we should feel grateful. Hare Krishna. So, this is I'm doing the time check. We have 3, 4 minutes over here. Any questions so far? Any comment anybody has? So we'll bring it to a close, dear devotees. To recap, what lessons uh, we can learn from this two verses. One is that envy is a big deterrent to bhakti. They are mutually apart. You cannot be practicing bhakti and still be envious of somebody. Envy may creep in, but there are ways and means of how to get rid of that envy. Whenever the envy comes in, is always one, I forget who had said it in some class, is do not judge a person's intent, whatever the action be, the benefit of the doubt. Just as we are fallible, even if something has happened, benefit of the doubt, no one is doing it deliberately. So, like this, we are not in a position of always being critical. Oh, this is not like this is not like that. We are not in that position. Of course, if you are in a position of a parent, teacher, you're the temple commander or whatever it be, then it is your duty to correct the person. But for us to, being critical of somebody else, that's not a good thing to do. Then another thing is the Trinadapi Sunichena, a verse that should be imprinted in our mind, how they tattoo the skin and it remains permanently. That should be there at all times. And whenever it comes in, think about it. Offer respects to everybody, whoever he be. We respect everybody, not the external appearances. We always get attracted or averse to whatever is the external appearance. But no, we should understand. I forget that verse, Bhagavad Gita, Pandita Samadarshana. See everybody as the temple in the purport Prabhupada has given. The body is a temple for the super soul to reside in. The externals don't matter. So consider that person. That is the respect that we give. Watch the mind, and things could be simmering inside. Just keep it away. Um, then many a times, this is a very instructive summary that we should stand firm in bhakti. So, like Sati Mata, there can be so many oppositions to our faith, so many within, outside, whatever, so many opposition come. However, we have to stand strong in faith. Doesn't matter whether there is a reversal or whether there's progress. Whatever you may receive a lot of material opulences, whatever it is, or the other way around, it may be taken away from you. But we have to remain steady. Whether we get it or whether we lose it shouldn't disturb the faith. Remain steady. And association, Hare Krishna. That's the most important thing, most important, because that association is another way, like how we were teaching the children. This is physical strength to lock, but for the willpower to stay steady and all the instructions that we listen to in classes, read, etc., it's only with association it strengthens. So just think this is your own effort, and associations, there are many stronger hands coming all around and protecting your willpower and that Bhakti Lata Bij. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Over to you, Madhupati Prabhu.
Thank you, Amritananda. We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. And we'd like to offer up prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shena Singha, Jaina Singha, Jai Jaina Singha, Praladesha, Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Pita. Ugraveda Mahavishnu Dvalantam Sarvatomukam, Narsingam Vishanam Bhadram, Mityam Navamiyam. Narsingh Bhagwan ki Jai, Naraj ki Jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas, Vanchakalpatarushya Kripa Sindhu Vacha Pitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnave Vaishnavinda ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Prabhupada ki Jai, Gaur Premanande.
Hari. Everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.